Writing Detours, the good, the bad, and the disastrous. Hello and welcome back to my writing journey. I'm Ellen Byerrum, a mystery writer who sometimes pens plays, children's books, and short stories, and whatever writing topics that occur to me. And I post these videos on the writing journey. Now, I find it hard to believe that every week there are still subjects to discuss about writing. It might be a standard subject out there, but there might be a new twist, a new thought, or changes in the writing world to talk about. If that's of interest to you, go ahead and subscribe and feel free to hit the like button. You know the drill. It's everywhere. Today, I am talking about writing detours. These are days when fate, like a crow with a jewel, drops a distraction in our path. It can happen any time, but especially when we're tired of our current work. That does happen. When we finish a book, it may seem that the wit and the plot never stopped. The characters talk to us constantly, but that is not how a book is made. There are many stops and starts and detours, and times that many of us are tempted to throw the writing out or just stop. Completely stop. I argue against that. A shiny detour can even tempt us on the downslope with a project where we can see the end in sight. It may be a truism that whatever you're working on isn't as exciting as the new idea that's waving to you. This fresh notion seems like it will be so easy to write, so much easier than the one you're working on now. Guess what? It isn't. It's just a distraction, and I assume that's the way our brains work. Writing is a journey, often a long one, and generally you want to get to the end, finish that draft or the final copy edit, and go ahead and attend your book signing. That's when a detour shines the brightest in flashing neon lights. It's not the coal mine of word flinging where we've been digging sentences out of the dark passages of our minds. Sometimes a detour is good. It offers a break and a rest, a refresh, as long as it doesn't throw us off the path to our final book destination. However, some detours can be disastrous. I've known people actively chasing after the detours. They say, I just have one more battlefield to visit, one more book to locate, and then I'll get onto that book. Perhaps they really don't want to write. These are the seekers of the next best idea, the phantom book. They know somewhere there is the answer, the key, the secret. I used to be in a screenwriting group with someone I'll call Annette, because I don't really know any Annettes. She was always off to the next group with great excitement, whether it was screenplays, plays, books, or memoirs. And with each one, Annette knew she had found the answer, the formula, the rationale. She'd tell us with confidence that it was outlines or subplots or minor characters or character arcs or journaling every morning that was the secret to success, or writing lists. But guess what? Annette never stayed at one thing long enough to test whether she had found the right answer for her. Her writing life was a series of detours and no published works. That is the disastrous detour. The secret to writing, perhaps, one of the secrets, one of the many, is to choose one or two things that work for you and stick to them. If that means outlines and detailed character biographies will get you across the finish line, that's what it means. Other detours are simply bad and throw you off track. But there can be good detours, and you have to follow your instincts on this. This year, I detoured to a new project for a few weeks. A short story anthology about urban legends offered a path to publication, and you could make up your own urban legends. I took some time off from my book of several weeks to write a short story, The Portuguese Sailor. Why? I had an idea that had been simmering on the back burner for a long time, and I really wanted to write it someday. The detour gave me permission to write it. The deadline made me accountable. I could take the time to write the story, feel refreshed and accomplished, because you can accomplish a short story in a few weeks, and you have that book waiting for you for the rest of the year. And I could return to my latest book, which is the sequel to Crook Tales for Two, right here. The Portuguese Sailor was accepted for the anthology for publication. Unfortunately, the anthology won't be published for 2 years, which is a tad disappointing. While there are more anthologies that I find attractive and provocative, I don't have the time. There's one seeking a Hollywood noir short story, and another that simply wants funny stories. Well, I couldn't take time for them because it would involve coming up with the basic idea, discovering the characters, their wants and needs, and the plot, the resolution, the twist. They would take too much time because I don't have an idea waiting in the wings like an eager understudy, like I had with the Portuguese Sailor. If you absolutely have the inspiration and the drive and know instinctively that you must write it, then you have to do that. That was the case for me with Crook Tales for Two, which came out of a dream, and now I'm looking at a limited series because dreams have a way of disappearing if you don't address them. So now I'm working on book 2 and being tempted by various small projects. But you have to remain disciplined. And that's where I thank St. James Elementary School and the nuns. And at the moment, I have another detour that is blinking and winking at me, but I know I can't stop for it right now. It is a play that I have started but not completed, Edgar in the Peach Tree. I hope to get back to it soon. The inspiration came from a photograph my husband took in front of our house. The photo looks to us like the ghost of Edgar Allan Poe. I'll put the photo on the screen somewhere, see if you think so. My first thought was, why was Edgar Allan Poe way out here and haunting us, haunting me, a comically inclined writer? Well, you come up with more ideas. Edgar wants to be released from the Stygian darkness of the netherworld in which he dwells and take over my play. His character is very opinionated and tries to improve the writer's words. He and my main character get into terrible fights. I find this idea very funny, and I have a cast of characters to work with, the setting, the resolution. Oh, but I don't have the time right now. It's on the back burner. I have notes. It's simmering away, and it will make a lovely Halloween play when I have the time for it. So when you are tempted by a writing detour, here are a few thoughts. 1. Know what you want out of a detour, perhaps just a mental break from your major opus. 2. Know how much time you're willing to spend on that detour. 3. Keep your eye on your main project so you can return to it. And 4. Don't take so much time that you lose your enthusiasm for your main project, for your book, and then you can't go back. You can't recapture the excitement. But we should remember that not all detours are bad, and they can take us down beautiful side roads we've never been before. They prompt stories we were meant to write, open our vista and our horizons. So that's all I have for now, and I'll see you next week with something else. Bye.